What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me on these 10,000 steps downtown Detroit. You know how we do. I want to talk about imprinting on a woman. Now, this is how you get her addicted to you. You know, you have to stand out and be different from everybody else. You can't do the same things that previous guys did and expect her to just fall in love you more than the last guy or the guy before that or whoever it was that up to this point she's deemed to be, the best guy that she's been with. And so far, no one's living up to him. How you go about this is do a lot of first things with her. You can't be boring. You can't be average. You can't just do what everybody else does. You can't do the same stuff everybody else does and not expect to be ordinary. You have to do extraordinary things. Now, you don't have to do crazy stuff, like helicopter tours and all that sort of stuff. But I'm not gonna say that won't help, but do things that make you stick out. Like, take her places she hasn't been to before, places that perhaps you've been to. That way, when you get her there, you can kind of explain what's happening to her, explain what she's looking at to her. She really appreciates that because, one, the thing that you're doing is different, and also you seem knowledgeable, so that helps. You want to maybe if her guy's never cooked for her before, maybe do that. Now, I'm not saying you have to do acts of service, but if you a guy that could whip up a mean steak out there on that grill behind you, do that, man. Chances are the ex has not done anything like that, because guys really don't have a lot of skills with cooking nowadays. They microwave everything. So if you could season a mean steak, man, and cook that boy out there on that grill, you have her over and you serve that up, that is going to make a huge impact. All right, that's going to make a great impression. So that's something that can also be a first. Another good example maybe is some park that you regularly go to. Like, there's a few for me. I'm out here walking around, I go from one park to another, but maybe it's some really cool park that you like to go to, and she likes kind of like outdoor stuff. Take her to the park, maybe do a picnic or something like that. I know some of this stuff can sound a little corny, but listen, you might have to do a little bit of corny stuff in order to separate yourself from these other guys. I'm just saying, be different. I'm not saying you gotta be a cheese ball, but it does help when you do things that make you stand out from everybody else, to be different. The more first that you do with her, the more you are going to stand out. The more you stand out, the more she's gonna look at you like the guy that stands above anybody else that she's been with. The more first that you do with her, the more enamored she's gonna become, the more in love with you she's gonna become. I'm telling you from practice. I am the master at doing first. So I don't have these problems that some of y'all have with getting a woman to like you, getting a woman to stay with you. The woman don't seem like she appreciates you. I don't have these issues, and I'm sharing with y'all some little tips or whatever that you can do to where you can get better results. So imprinting on her is very important, because the last guys, they left an imprint, be it positive or negative. They left an imprint. And oftentimes, even though she's not going to say this, things that you are doing with her or for her, she is directly comparing them to things that guys before you did for her or with her. So you're competing with them whether you want to or not. But you want to make it so that you just being you. You're not really competing for her. You're just being you. And the stuff that you do just happens to be better than the stuff anybody else did. So you're a unique person. You have your own likes and dislikes. You're unlike anybody else. So implement some of those things into your dating, because you'll end up doing a lot of first things. Don't try to copy anybody else. Like, I've given you some tips on things to do, But don't just try to just copy my playbook. These are examples that you can use, but you really need to think about what can you do yourself that is going to improve your likelihood of making a lasting impression. Imprint on her, right? We've heard about this even when it comes to animals. Imprint on her. And some of this stuff may sound crazy, but it's really, when you think about it, it's really not. Like, this has been going on between men and women when it comes to courting for years. We're talking about, since dating was a thing. Since you started trying to be civil and court her rather than club her on the head and drag her somewhere. This has been a thing. People just didn't really have a word for it. There always didn't exist like a term for it and a definition for it, but it was always the same thing. You want to do things that set you apart from anybody else. You want to make a good impression with her. You want to impress her. You want it to stick out from everybody else. That's what it is, man. It's imprinting. You want to imprint. And the best way to imprint, in my opinion, is by giving her as many firsts as you possibly can. Come up with some unique ideas of your own, some cool things to do that y'all could be doing together and she's never done before. Now, I'm not saying don't do things that she's done with other people, because you can do stuff that she's done with other people and still make it unique. You can still make it a unique experience because of you. You're the deciding factor. So let's say going to the movies, okay, she's been to the movies with an ex, she's been to the movie with her parents, she's been to the movie with her friends. So going to the movies itself isn't unique, but you can do things that kind of make the experience unique. You guys can get there early and maybe, talk a little bit, or, have a couple adult beverages before y'all go in, just sitting there talking. So y'all going in there and, y'all are like even more mellow than usual because you guys have this going on. There's just all types of things. You could take something as basic and average as just running errands for the day and make it fun if you're that guy. So do as many firsts as you possibly can. And it doesn't matter if it's unique experiences that are totally new to her, or if they're experiences that she has done before that you're now making fresh and new because you're adding your unique spin on it. So I think y'all get the point here, man. If you want to get her addicted to you, this is how you do it. Stand out. Don't be like anybody else. Be you. You already different. So use that to your advantage. But let me know in the comments what y'all think about this, man. I appreciate y'all connecting with me. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give me that thumbs up if you like this video. I'm going to talk to y'all soon. Peace.